Everyone today is paying attention to a range of technologies, whether that's artificial intelligence or Internet of Things, perhaps distributed energy generation such as rooftop solar or 3D printing. What few people have noticed, though, is that all of these technologies drive one common underlying dynamic in the economy, and that is they push the production and provision of products and services ever closer to the moment at which they might be demanded. So I call this dynamic of moving the production and provision of value, because it's not really about the products and services per se, but the value that people can gain from them, pushing that closer and closer to the moment of demand. We call this proximity. For the past 2 years or more, Amazon's been doing something they call anticipatory shipping. This means they're watching your behaviors online, what you're clicking through, where you're spending your time, even something called cursor hover time, which my colleague Howard Tallman refers to as digital drooling. That product that your wife told you shouldn't buy, but you probably are going to buy it, so you keep going back to it, and eventually maybe you'll click on it and buy it. Amazon sees this. They note that you, not demand in general, but you, an individual consumer, are likely to buy this in the near future, and so they send it to the distribution center closest to your home. Anticipatory shipping. They've been doing it for a couple years, they're getting much better at it, and it will only get better in the future. Today, we have a global supply chain optimized for scale manufacturing at a distance. The larger your plant, generally, the lower your costs. Over the next couple of generations, this dynamic will be obliterated. Now, note what I did not say is that in 30 years, we won't have any large manufacturing facilities in Southeast China. We very well will have some facilities like this. There will be cases where a large manufacturing plant will still be the most efficient way to serve your needs. But with 3D printing, we'll increasingly be able to move product production at lower and lower numbers of units closer and closer to the moment in time and space when the product might be required. So let me use a simple example. I want to buy a fork. It turns out it's hard to buy one matching fork. How do you buy a fork? Well, someone in Western Australia mines iron ore, puts it on a ship, sends it to China, melts it down, alloys it, sends it to another plant, makes 12 forks, puts 12 forks in a box, into a pallet, into a ship. The ship goes across the Pacific Ocean to the port of Long Beach. There's a strike at the port, then to another port, onto a rail line, into a truck, and into a store. And I buy 12 forks. Today, with 3D printing, it is technologically trivial to download a file, push a button, and print one fork. Over the next couple of generations, our global supply chain will be ripped apart. Increasingly, things will be created at lower and lower product units closer to the moment of demand. Today, 25% of all plastic replacement parts for automotive cost more to ship than they do to manufacture. So it is already becoming the case where when companies do the math, they find out that it's actually cheaper and more efficient to start just at the fringes, at the peripheries, not in the core of their business, but at the peripheries, to start to distribute some of this production closer to the point when it might be needed. So to have a 3D printer in an auto dealership to make windshield wipers when I need 2 windshield wipers and not 144 windshield wipers in inventory. This dynamic will cascade across the entire global economy. So let me be clear, by proximity, I'm not just talking about better inventory management. We're not just talking about proximity marketing and giving you offers when you walk by a store. We mean every aspect of the production and provision of products and services, value in the economy. These will all be pushed closer to the moment when in time and space where they'll be demanded. Even something as fundamental as energy. Proximity works because people have always wanted what they want, when they want, where they want it. And the companies that are able to provide that will be the ones that win.